Jason Batt got the lights out. Going to be waving the green flag. Looks like we're losing the 17 of Alley. So it's going to be 6 cars for 8 laps. And into turn number 1 we go. Look along the top side already. It's Wyatt getting sideways. Braden Wyatt thought he was going to sling around the outside. Instead, the 65 coming out from underneath. Jay Kuhn, Justin Long, and Aaron Alley. The remainder of the field. The green flag comes out, and we are underway. And look at the 66X of Frazier around the outside. He gets it done off the top of turn number 2 and shoots to the top spot. James Honish in second spot as we negotiate the backstretch into turn 3. Look at Frazier off of turn 4. The car sets perfectly, and he'll lead lap number 1. Honish in the second spot. Justin Long is third. Jay Kuhn rounds out the top 4. Look at Aaron Alley slinging that thing into the top of turn 1 almost like it's a sprint car. We got a good battle shaping up for the second spot. Coming into turn number 3. That is the 777 of James Honish, the 42 of Justin Long. The best battle on the racetrack right now is the one for the runner-up spot. Long looking underneath once again, has to pedal it through the moisture in turn number 1. Honish going to stretch that lead out to about a car length and a half down the back chute into 3. We're coming to 2 to go this time by. And your leader, the 66X of Greg Frazier, got about a straightaway advantage already. Going to be coming to the white flag this time out of turn 4. Frazier once again sets the car up nicely through turns 3 and 4. Still, though, the best battle on the racetrack. The one for second spot. The white flag is in the air for Frazier. Negotiates turns 1 and 2 nicely down the back chute. We're going to have one more set of corners, and heat race number 1 will be in the books. Frazier, a comfortable, sizable margin on the turn number 4 the final time. He'll take the checkered flag. Second spot looks like it's going to be the 777 Special, a jackpot, James Honish. Third spot going to be the 42 of Justin Long. Jay Kuhn going to be in 4th. And rounding out the field in 5th spot, it will be Aaron Alley. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for the 66X of Mr. Greg Frazier, taking the win in heat race number 1. Mulbauer, row number 3, and Trevor Rainey rounding out the field by his lonesome shotgun in row 4. We're going to go green this time out of turn 4. Everybody on the loud pedal. The green flag is out, and we are underway. Look at the jump for Tyler Bragg off the top of turn number 4. Kyle Wilkins going to smack the outside retaining wall in turn number 1. Keeps the car moving forward. We're 2 by 2 for second spot with Clickenbeard on the bottom. He'll take the position into turn number 3. Pretty back to 3rd. Tyler Bragg going to lead lap number 1. Then it's Clickenbeard, Pretty, the 24 of Mulbauer, and Kyle Wilkins rounding out the top 5 in the 7MK. James Skinner, Trevor Rainey rounding out the field. We're coming out of turn number 4. Once again, the top spot belongs to Tyler Bragg in the 24T. The best battle on the track right now, the one for 3rd. Shane Pretty rounding out the podium, but he's got a mirror full, if he had one, that is, of Dustin Mulbauer. Look at the run that Mulbauer has off the top side of the racetrack. Has to dab the brakes to keep the car under control. Trying to look underneath Pretty once again. Mulbauer with a great handling race car coming out of turn 4. You see a little bit of dust kicking up off the top side. The exit out of 4. We're side by side going into turn number 1. Pretty just using the banking to his advantage and carrying the momentum to hang on to that 3rd spot. Going to be coming to halfway there, folks. 4 down, 4 to go this time around. Tyler Bragg, still your leader. And now look at the battle. It's shaping up for 4th. Kyle Wilkins trying. Oh, and Mulbauer goes around in turn number 1. Going to keep it going. We'll stay clean and green, but Mulbauer, Dustin Mulbauer to the back of the pack. That's going to give the 4th spot to Kyle Wilkins in the 7MK. We go back up front. We're looking at the 24T right now. Tyler Bragg, he's being chased by the 66 of Nick Clickenbeard. Clickenbeard in 2nd spot, but it's a long way to that top spot. Tyler Bragg with a straightaway advantage with 2 laps to go. Jason Batt showing them 2 to go this time around. Bragg, Clickin, Beard, and Pretty, your top three. Kyle Wilkins a little bit snug through the transition. Here comes the 11R of Trevor Rainey. Rainey with a great run down the back chute, takes over the fourth spot into turn 3. White flag is out. One more lap to go for Tyler Bragg. Make it about a half a lap. Oh, as the K24 of Dustin Mulbauer making an early exit. The checkered flag comes out. The win will go to Tyler Bragg in the 24T. Second spot, going to be the 66 of Nick Clickenbeard. Third spot, looks like, it'll be the 766 of Shane Pretty. Then it'll be Trevor Rainey, Kyle Wilkins, and James Skinner. Jamie Husky, Weston Abbey, row 2. Dean Abbey and Bryce Pritchett, row 3. And Blake Clark going to round out the field by himself in row 4. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This time out of turn number 4. The green flag is out, and we are underway. And look at the jump off the outside for Riley. Lee Riley going to lead the field into turn number 1. We're 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Look at Weston Abbey around the outside. Abbey picks up 2 spots in turns 1 and 2. Going to take the lead down the back chute into turn number 3. On the bottom of the racetrack, though, Jamie Husky trying to sneak around in for the top spot. Here we are side by side down the front chute. That's for third spot. It's Bryce Pritchett on the outside and Dean Abbey on the bottom of the racetrack, the Sniper Speed chassis number 26 machine. Weston Abbey still your leader, the Comanche Texas driver, leading lap number 2 this time around, and Dean Abbey getting around Pritchett for the third spot. Lee Riley, Blake Clark, and Vernon Owens got their own run going on in the back of the pack. That's 5, 6, and 7 on the racetrack right now. Clark trying to get around Riley for the 4th position. We jump back up front. We got another great battle for the top spot. Weston Abbey still out front, but he is under heavy fire now from Jamie Husky in the 26J. Dean Abbey right there. You can throw a blanket over the top 3 as we go down the back chute. Less than 3 car lengths between them, looks like. As Dean Abbey looks to the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 3. Swings the 26 machine down in there. He'll take over the second spot on turn 4. I don't know about that, folks. I'm not calling that one at the line. I'll leave it to Brian right now to write down the numbers. The 26J, though, got to hang on to it out of turn 2. It's Jamie Husky with the runner-up position. Here comes Abbey once again to the bottom of the racetrack. We're 3 wide coming out of 4. Weston Abbey still your leader. Jamie Husky in second spot. Dean Abbey losing a lot of ground that time. Not a good run through 3 and 4. We're side by side for the top spot out of 2. Drag race down the back chute into turn number 3, ladies and gentlemen. That's good door-to-door stock car racing right there. Husky really having to control the race car on the bottom as we come to 2 to go. Weston Abbey still out front in the 12th machine. Jamie Husky right there underneath in the 26J. Once again, a drag race down the back chute. Give the nod to Abbey coming into turn number 3. Going to be the white flag in the air this time around. Husky with a good run off the bottom. Not enough, though. Abbey still going to hang on to it with 1 to go. Here comes Dean Abbey now around the outside. We're side by side for second this time through turns 1 and 2. Weston Abbey out front. Dean Abbey in second spot. Jamie Husky back to third. A good run. And Dean Abbey now underneath his brother for the checker out of 4. Not going to be enough. Weston Abbey with the win. Man. In the 5-star, we're going to have 6 cars, 8 laps. The 1 to go has been shown. The lights are out. We're going to be going green this time out of 4. Waringa and Spillman going to lead them to the green. And a lot of blue smoke out of the rear of the 22 machine. Justin Waringa with some serious problems. Anthony Odkin getting sideways, trying to avoid contact there. He slips all the way to the back of the field. Zach Spillman going to lead lap number 1. Justin Waringa in second spot, but not for long. Here comes the 5-star of Taylor. Brandon Taylor started dead last of this heat race. Worked his way up to second spot on lap number 1. We're about to be side by side. It's a drag race down the backstretch. The 22T of Tyler Murrayhead underneath the 22 of Justin Waringa. Murrayhead makes the move and takes over the third spot. Waringa back to 4th. Anthony Odkin right now getting a face full of dust out of the 22 machine. Zach Spillman still your leader in the 44Z. Brandon Taylor in second position. Tyler Murray head up to third. Justin Waringa fourth. Anthony Otkin and Ken Plonsky round out the field. And we've got a yellow flag on the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. Ken back out here for feature time. Spillman going a little bit early down the back chute. The green flag going to come out. Zach Spillman going to lead the field into turn number 1. Brandon Taylor in second spot. Oh, look at Taylor with a good run. Spillman maybe a little bit too high on the racetrack. We're side by side down the backstretch for the lead. Taylor going to have the preferred line on the bottom of the racetrack. He'll put a slight job on Zach Spillman out of turn number 4. Now we're side by side with Anthony Otkin as we come to 2 to go. Spillman now bringing it back down about a lane off the top, but look at Taylor. Got a great run in the 5-star machine as he leads the field into turn number 3. The white flag going to be in the air this time by side with Otkin now. Anthony Otkin door to door with Spillman through 3 and 4. White flag in the air, one more lap to go. Making about 3/4 now as Taylor already exiting turn number 2. Spillman in second. Otkin, Plonsky, and Waringa round out the field. Coming into turn 3 for the final time, it's still Taylor out front. Looks like it's going to stay that way. Yeah, Brandon Taylor with the win in the 5-star. Zach Spillman in second spot. Anthony Otkin, Ken Plonsky, and Justin Waringa going to round out the field. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Brandon Taylor with a couple of wins to their credit over the last few seasons in competition around the state. Reagan Reed and Gary Kelly going to lead them to the green. The Texas Sprint Series underway with heat race number 1. And looks like Reagan going to lead the field into turn 1. She slides all the way up the racetrack. Here comes Gary Kelly, It's a drag race down the backstretch. The stable cars going wheel to wheel into turn number 3. Reagan going to take the lead. Reagan Reed going to lead lap number 1. Gary Kelly in second. Then it's Dustin Woods, Russ Fletcher, and Ronnie Henderson rounding out the field. Reed still your leader down the back chute into turn number 3. Gary Kelly trying to give chase. Here comes Dustin Woods in the 56 machine, keeping it glued to the bottom of the racetrack. Russ Fletcher trying to sneak under him to take over the 3rd spot. That's the best battle on the racetrack as Fletcher takes the spot into turn number 1. Look at Woods, though, riding around the high side trying to get the bite. Not going to happen. Fletcher takes over the 3rd spot coming into turn number 3. Russ Fletcher, still your 3rd spot car. Back up front we go. Reagan Reed out front in the 97 by about 4 car lengths over Gary Kelly. Nearly half a straightaway advantage. Should be coming to 4 down, 4 to go. Halfway done this time by from Flagman Joe. Russ Fletcher still sitting in 3rd position in the 4T6. You can see the race cars trying to get up towards the top of the racetrack. Looks like a little bit of fluff up there. Reagan Reed really liking right through the middle, though. The young lady out of Waco, still your leader, nearly a straightaway ahead at this point in heat race number 1. Reed still in the top spot, easing the 97 machine into the corners. We come to 2 to go this time by the young lady. Making it work right now in the 97 machine. Up top into turn number 1. Gary Kelly still in second. Russ Fletcher is third. Dustin Woods a distant 4th. Reagan Reed coming up onto the 32 machine. Ronnie Henderson looking to put Henderson a lap down as the white flag comes out. 1 to go for heat race number 1. Reed going to make light work of Henderson out of turn 2 down the back chute. She'll hang on to the top position as now Gary Kelly has to do battle. Checkered flag going to be in the air this time by. Looks like the Lone Star will wave over the 97 of Reagan Reed. Gary Kelly in second. Russ Fletcher third. Dustin Woods going to come across the line in 4th. Jeff Long, Josh Hanna, going to be 6 laps in distance. Here we go. Good run for the first 2 cars off of turn number 4. Look at the top side. There goes Hammock around everybody on the top side of the racetrack. Jerry Hammock to the lead on turn 2. Hammock looking to put on a clinic here in heat race number 2. He'll lead lap number 1. It's Josh Hanna in second. Jeff Long is third. Here comes Dennis Smith, though, in the 24 machine. Smith, high, wide, and handsome around the first set of corners. Going to get a good run off the top of turn 2. He and Jeff Long with a good battle into turn number 3. Hammock still your leader. Josh Hanna in second spot. It's now Dennis Smith in the 3rd position. Jeff Long 4th. Mark Kliss Jr. in 5th. And Marshall McClevy rounding out the field in the 6th position. 3 down and 3 to go in heat race action for Jerry Hammock. Josh Hanna still second. 3rd spot still belongs to Dennis Smith in the 24 machine. Mark Kliss Jr. in 4th. Going to be coming at 2 to go this time around for Jerry Hammock. Josh Hanna sitting in 2nd position in the 82 machine. Dennis Smith now 3rd. He's coming under fire from Mark Kliss. Kliss trying to get the car righted around. Turns 1 and 2. The white flag is out for Jerry Hammock. 1 more lap to go. He's already caught the tail end of the field. Marshall McClevy having a fun time in turns 1 and 2. Hammock going to make quick work down the back chute into turn 3 for the final time. The Lone Star flag will be in the air. It will wave for the 4 of Jerry Hammock. 2nd spot coming around, it'll be the 82 of Josh Hanna. 3rd spot will be the 24 of Dennis Smith. Mark Kliss Jr. in the 4th position, your pole setter. But Brittany starting on the inside of the front row. She's getting ready to do her best out here with 5 of the good ones. Here we go. Put your foot in your mouth or what? As Brittany Bryant with a great jump off the bottom of row number 1. She's going to lead the field out of turn 2. Brian DeBrick with a look to the inside, but Bryant, going to lead lap number 1. Brittany Bryant with a convincing lead already as we come into lap number 2. Brian DeBrick on the bottom of the racetrack. He'll put a slide job on her out of turn 2. DeBrick to the top spot. Bryant back to 2nd. It's Emerson 3rd. Then Etzelmiller, Backus, and Venable round out the field. 2 laps in the books. Brian DeBrick still your leader. The racetrack starting to slick up a little bit on the entrance of turn number 1. You can see the drivers fighting for grip. Looks like 3 and 4 a little bit better. Getting in as we come to halfway. 3 down, 3 to go. DeBrick sliding right through the slick part of the racetrack, finding the cushion on the top side and putting the power down as Jeff Emerson now gets around the young lady for 2nd. Brittany Bryant back to 3rd. Oh, and DeBrick loses it in turn number 3.
Adult giveaways.
Green flag is out. We're back underway. And a good battle for the lead right off the bat. We're coming into turn number 3. Look at Emerson trying to get down to the bottom of the racetrack. Bryant having the same thought. The white flag coming out. 1 more lap to go. Brittany Bryant out front right now. Jeff Emerson in 2nd spot. Then it's Etzelmiller in 3rd. We're side by side for the lead down the back chute. This is the final time into turn 3. Emerson with the preferred line. I'm not sure if there was contact or not. Bryant going to hang on to it. The young lady takes the win. Jeff Emerson in 2nd spot. Matt Etzelmiller was 3rd. Brian DeBrick coming across the line in 4th. Blake Backus and Kenny Venable rounding out in the field. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? The young lady, the 99B machine, Brittany. To go factory stock heat racing here. We've got 4 factory stock heats. The first one going green out of 4. Oh, big contact on the front wall. The front wall. Lights are out, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Heat race number 1 back underway for the factory stocks. And look at the outside, the 151K of Tommy Williams Jr. Getting around the outside of Shane Pretty. He'll take over the lead out of turn number 2. Pretty in 2nd. Then it's Dennis Bissonette, Terry Dumas, the 28 machine of Dustin Sprouse, and Colin Dunn rounding out the field. 1 in the books and 7 to go. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is where the action is. That middle group of 4 cars, nose to tail, side by side. We're slicing and dicing with Sprouse on the outside. Dustin Sprouse taking over the 4th spot on the racetrack. They're pretty much nose to tail, ladies and gentlemen, all behind your leader, Tommy Williams Jr. in the 151K. Look at Sprouse once again, looking to the inside of Dennis Bissonette, coming into turn number 3. Maybe a little bit of contact, I'm not sure. Rubbing is racing in these big fendered factory stocks. You can get away with a lot more than just about any other class out here on the racetrack. Williams still in the top spot as we come into turn number 3. Shane Pretty in second. Dennis Bissonette, Dustin Sprouse, Terry Dumas round out the top 5. Halfway there, 4 down and 4 to go. Remember, the top 3 transfer directly to the main event. The rest of them have to run a B main tonight to make it into the A. Out of turn number 4, once again, should be 5 down, 3 to go. That time by for Tommy Williams Jr. in the 151K. Shane Pretty has closed the gap on your leader. It's down to about a car length as we come out of turn number 2. Williams rolling into turn number 3, should be coming to 2 to go at the line this time by from Jason Batt. Batt showing them the furled white and checkered flags. 2 more laps around 281. Tommy Williams Jr. in the 151K, still your leader, going to be coming to the white flag this time at a turn number 4. 1 more lap to go in heat race number 1. The battle still for 2, 3, and 4. Shane Pretty, we're going to call that top of turn number 4 there a character spot, and Pretty has been finding it. Bissonette now with his best look to the inside yet. Not going to be enough. 1 set of corners left in heat race number 1. Tommy Williams coming around, gonna take the win in heat number 1. It's gonna be Pretty, but not by much. Shane Pretty in second, Dennis Bissonette third. Those are gonna be your top 3 transfer spots. Simmons pacing them slow through turns 3 and 4, waiting on the green flag from Jason Batt. There it is, and we're underway. And Baker with a good run off the outside of the front row leads the field into turn number 1. We're nearly 3 wide already with Tom Earl getting a shot in the shorts from Frank Lackey in the 41. A lot of beating and banging going on early on in heat race number 2 for the factory stock division. Here comes Earl on the bottom of the racetrack. Tom Earl looking to the inside of the turn number 4. Not going to be enough. Baker leads lap number 1. Earl in second. The 26 of Grant Wallum is third. We've got cars slicing and dicing all over the racetrack. The battle for 4th is heating up right now with the 41 of Frank Lackey on the inside, the 66 of Jacob Wilburn to the outside. Baker going to come around and lead lap number 2. Shelby Baker out front in the 33K. Tom Earl second in the 47 machine. Grant Wallum rounding out your 3 transfer positions right now. Wallum with a good run off the turn number 2. Look at that battle for 5th, though. It's a 3-car battle for 4th, really, with Frank Lackey in the 41, Steve Cherry in the 11, and the 66 of Jacob Wilburn. Cherry to the bottom of the racetrack, getting around Frank Lackey for the 4th spot. It wasn't clean. It wasn't pretty. But Cherry going to take over the 4th position as we come to halfway there. 4 down, 4 to go. Baker still in the top spot. Tom Earl still second. Grant Wallum rounds out the top 3 transfer positions, and Steve Cherry has worked his way from the back to 4th. Coming out of turn number 4, should be 6 down, 2 to go for Shelby Baker this time around. Tom Earl in second spot. Grant Wallum still rounds out the top 3. Cherry, Lackey, Wilburn, and Boyd, the remainder of the field. That front 3 starting to tighten up just a little bit as we come into turn number 3. Tom Earl with about a car length between himself and Shelby Baker as the field comes to 2 to go this time. 6 complete, 2 to go. Baker still in the top spot. A good run for the 33K machine. She slides a little bit wide through the transition of turns 1 and 2. Tom Earl working the hub of the racetrack right around the tires. Look for Earl to go low in turn number 3 once again. White flag in the air. One more lap to go this time around. Baker coming under fire now from Tom Earl as we go into turn 1 for the final time. Earl trying to dive down to the bottom of the racetrack, but Grant Wallum right there underneath him. Side by side at a turn 2. Wallum going to go to the bottom now, trying to get under Tom Earl for the second position. The checkered flag in the air. How about this for a finish? Baker out front, Earl in second, and Wallum going to be your third and final transfer spot. Row number 3, Jeffrey Abbey and Greg Hammett, row 4, and Jason Gamez and Wes Downey, row number 5. The green is out and we're underway, and right off the bat, the 77 of Jeffrey Abbey. We're 3 wide out of the turn number 2. Jeffrey Abbey up to the second position. Right now your leader is Jeff Hammett in the 13J. Abbey in second spot. Third spot belongs to the 21B of Danny Brown, that awesome-looking 21B machine. Problems for the 13 of Melissa Bailey. Bailey going to take it down into the infield. He races over. Oh, that's the 13J of Jeff Hammett pulling into the infield. Melissa Bailey is your leader right now. So Bailey out front, going to lead lap number 2. Jeffrey Abbey in second. The best battle on the racetrack is the one between Ruben Broussard and Danny Brown. That's for third spot. Broussard, top shelf in turns 1 and 2. Side by side, give the nod to Broussard off the exit of the second corner, down the back boulevard into turn number 3. Brown on the bottom of the racetrack. Broussard has found something right through the middle, and the 51 machine hangs on to the third spot. The 22X of Jason Gamez started 9th in this heat race and is now passing Danny Brown for 4th on the racetrack. Brown back to 5th as the field comes into turn 3. We're completing lap number 4. 4 down, 4 to go this time around. Still Melissa Bailey out front. I tell you what, it's been girl power here tonight at 281 Speedway. Melissa Bailey, your top spot. Here comes Ruben Broussard, though, on the bottom of the racetrack under the Comanche Kid. Jeffrey Abbey pulling double duty here tonight. Second right now in heat race number 3 for the factory stocks. Broussard, your third and final transfer position. He's coming under fire from Jason Gamez. Gamez started 9th on the field and is challenging for the third position. Should be coming to 2 to go this time by 6 laps complete. 2 more times around 281 Speedway. Jeffrey Abbey now looking to the inside of Melissa Bailey out of turn 2. Abbey with a great run off the bottom. We're going to be coming to the white flag this time around. Bailey not giving it up, though. Abbey going to have to earn it through turns 3 and 4. The white flag is out. Melissa Bailey going to... Oh! She bubbles and they make contact. Jeffrey Abbey leads lap number 7. Ruben Broussard gets around. There goes Melissa Bailey. An extra lap at the bottom of turn number 1. Bailey going to keep it running. We'll stay clean and green. That's going to put Jeffrey Abbey out front, and the checkered flag is the only one yet to wave. There it is in the air. A face full of checkered flag for Jeffrey Abbey in the 77. Ruben Broussard in second spot, and Jason Gamez, your third and final transfer position. Green flag is out, ladies and gentlemen. Fourth and final factory stock heat race underway. And right off the bat, Brenda Edwards and Anthony Simsick getting together, and that's just going to let James Bailey slide up and take the lead. Here comes Simsick making it 3 wide out of turn 2. James Bailey leads the field into turn number 3. Anthony Simsick on the bottom of the racetrack in the 44. Side by side coming off the top of turn 4. Give it to Simsick. He'll lead lap number 1. Then it's James Bailey in second. Then the Red Oak Texan, Lance Hansen, has worked his way up to third. He's got Heisenberg right behind him. The Walter Hamilton in the 1W machine sitting in the 4th position. And there's Weston Abbey driving the 77 machine, 77W. After starting 7th, working up his way through the field, challenging Hamilton for the 4th spot. Weston Abbey once again at the bottom of the racetrack, side by side with Walter Hamilton out of turn number 2. Both of those drivers trying to crack that top 3 and try to work their way into a transfer spot into tonight's main event. Simsick out front in the 44. Bailey is second. Hansen third. Those are your top 3 cars. Walter Hamilton now goes to the top side of the racetrack out of turn number 2, trying to get a good run down the back chute into 3. Top shelf stays Hamilton through turns 3 and out of turn 4. He'll take over the third spot off the exit of the top of turn number 4. And getting around Hansen, that'll put Hansen out of a transfer spot. 4 down and 4 to go that time by Walter Hamilton. Working the top side of 281 Speedway. Your leader still Anthony Simsick. Oh, Brenda Edwards going around the top of turn number 2. Pacing them slowly for the final time through turn number 3. Green flag is out, and we're back underway. And Simsick with a great jump on the start leads the field into turn number 1. We're 3 wide for second with Abbey on the bottom. He'll take over the second spot, picks up 2 spots through turn number 2. That is Weston Abbey driving the 77W factory stock. He's side by side with Heisenberg. Walter Hamilton through turn number 4. Give the nod to Abbey at the stripe. Hamilton is in third spot. Look around the outside of turn 2, though. Walter Hamilton with a heck of a run off the top side of the racetrack. He'll take the runner-up spot into turn 3. Your leader is still Anthony Simsick out front. Walter Hamilton in second. Weston Abbey is third. James Bailey 1 spot out with 2 to go. The Red Oak Texan driver, Lance Hansen, sitting in 5th spot right now. We're side by side down the backstretch with James Bailey and Weston Abbey. Bailey, oh, there's contact for sure as Bailey drives over the nose of the 77 machine. The white flag is out. 1 lap to go. Abbey's car pushing through turns 3 and 4, and Bailey just driving over the nose. Here comes Lance Hansen, picking up 2 spots through turn number 2. On his way to the checkered flag. Hansen in the third and final transfer spot. The win's going to go to Simsick. Heisenberg in second. Walter Hamilton with the second spot. And Lance Hansen. And Weston Abbey and James Bailey. We're underway. And Egbert side by side with Abbey as we come into turn number 1. Jeffrey Abbey trying to find some grip. We're 3 wide. Look at Chris Bragg picking them both off out of turn number 2. Here comes Hardy Henderson, your 2017 points champion here at 281 Speedway. Old Dog still got bite in the 63. Oh, Egbert hard into the wall. Hardy Henderson and the 0-2 of Danny Rogers. Row number 2, we're back underway. Take number 2 on your modified heat race. And Abbey once again slides up the racetrack. Here comes Hardy Henderson, your 2017 points champion, picking off number 1 and number 2. Colin Deming coming along for the ride. He'll pick up the second spot as we exit turn number 4. It's Henderson out front. Deming in second spot. Bragg is third. Abbey is 4th right now. Chad Melton rounds out the top 5. Colin Deming had a look to the inside of Hardy Henderson out of turn number 2. Henderson wins the drag race into turn 3, down to the bottom of the racetrack in 3 and 4. Deming back up top. Here comes Bragg. Slides up and shuts the door on Jeffrey Abbey. Abbey once again high side in turns 1 and 2. Has to get all the way out of the throttle. Gets up in that rough stuff. Going to lose 1 more spot to Chad Melton. Melton up to 4th, and Abbey back to 5th. Side by side now for the top spot of the turn number 4. Hardy Henderson hangs on to it. Colin Deming now sneaking around on the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to pick up that top spot. He'll do so out of turn 2, but look at the drive off the top side for Hardy Henderson. Henderson showing why he's your defending points champion here at 281 Speedway. Hardy, no stranger to victory lane here in Stephenville, Texas. Side by side once again with Deming for the top spot. Deming now, a little bit better run, going to pinch the nose a little bit maybe, but he'll take the top spot. Here comes Chad Melton, has worked his way up to 3rd. Melton now, going to triumph for 2nd. One more lap in the books. We've got Chad Melton and Hardy Henderson to go! And Jeffrey Abbey with nowhere to go slaps the side of Chad Melton. Green flag is out. We are underway. Deming leads the field down into turn number 1. Chris Bragg in second spot. Look at Bragg on the bottom of the racetrack. Deming slips up. There goes Bragg by for the top position. Colin Deming now running him down in the 0-3, actually the 3C machine. White flag out. One more lap to go for Chris Bragg. Deming in the 3C in second spot. Danny Rogers and Dean Deming side by side through 1 and 2. Give the spot to Dean Deming off the bottom of the racetrack. One more set of corners for Chris Bragg, and we are going to get the checkered flag. Absolutely. Bragg will take the win. Second will go to Colin Deming. That'll be Dean Deming and Danny Rogers rounding out the field. Our PowerEye 600 Micro Sprint's going to be in action with your regular classes. The green flag is out. And we're underway with the street stock heat race. And look at Ricky Braddock jumping out to the early lead in the 56 machine. Wade White now trying to run him down in the 68. Braddock with almost a straightaway lead already as we come into turn number 3. Lap number 1 going to be in the books. Braddock out front. Wade White in second spot. Third spot belongs to your pole sitter. Not for long, though. Here comes Kelly on the inside after James Hogan gets real crossed up. Hogan going to slip back to fourth. Braddock still out front, coming to 2 to go this time by Ricky Braddock. 2 to go in the 56 machine. It's Wade White second in the 68 car. Third spot belongs to Mike Kelly in the 5, and James Hogan rounding out the field in the 77. Braddock with a straightaway advantage over Wade White. Coming into turn number 3, white flag going to be out this time by for Ricky Braddock in the 56. Checker flag in the air. Ricky Braddock going to take the win in the 56 machine. Wade White coming across in second in the 68. Third spot going to be Mike Kelly in the 5 car. And rounding out the field, the 77 of Mr. James Hogan. Green flag is out, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. And right off the bat, it looks like it's going to be 3 wide into turn number 1. The Cobalt, Harold Clifton in the 47C, going to take the top spot off the exit at turn 2. Side by side with Pamela Wisnat of the 01. Here comes Pamela to the bottom of the racetrack. She's going to sling that 01 machine down to the inside of turns 3 and 4. We'll be side by side off the exit, but it is going to be Harold Clifton leading lap number 1. We are 3 wide briefly for a moment down the backstretch as Clifton Wisnat just blows by Pamela in the 01 machine and the 59 of Rick Sopp. Clifton Wisnat up to the second spot. 3 wide once again down the front chute into turn number 1. Ronald Gobert on the inside of the racetrack of the 45 machine. Alongside, we're 3 wide once again out of turn number 2. Some exciting racing here in the Sport Compact Heat Race. Rick Sopp hanging on to that third spot right now in the 59, but he is under some serious fire from Pamela Wisnat now. Pamela to the outside in the 01 machine. Got to be the preferred line in these little front-wheel drive cars as Wisnat makes the move. She'll take over third spot out of turn 2. We're 3 wide once again down the backstretch into turn 3. Gomert on the bottom in the 45 underneath Rick Sopp, in the 59. Wisnat now, Pamela Wisnat in third spot. The battle up front is heating up for sure. We're nose to tail with those two. Here comes Clifton Wisnat looking to the inside of turn number 3. That's the 47C of Harold Clifton out front. We're door to door off of turn number 4. Give it to Clifton off the top of the turn. He'll lead one more lap. Clifton Wisnat in second spot. Here comes Roland Gomert in the third position of the 45 machine. He's gotten out away from the rest of the field. He's got a long way to go to catch the front two, but Gomert with a good head of steam coming into turn number 3. 2 to go from Jason Batt. It's still Harold Clifton out front. Clifton Wisnat in second spot. Those two door to door once again through turns 1 and 2. Side by side down the backstretch into turn 3. Wisnat on the bottom of the racetrack, not giving an inch. Coming to the white flag. One more lap to go. Slides Clifton up the racetrack. Harold Clifton trying to battle back. He'll lead one more. 2 more sets of corners as we barrel off into turn number 1. Clifton Wisnat trying to slide up the racetrack, get a good run on a turn 2, but Harold Clifton not letting him go. Here comes Wisnat in the 10 machine. Wins the drag race into turn number 3. It looks like Clifton going to lead them all but the last one. And Clifton Wisnat takes the win by a wheel. Green flag is out and we are underway. And look at Dustin Sprouse with a great jump off the inside of that front row. Going to lead the field into turn number 1. Terry Dumas has taken over the second spot from Danny Brown in the 21B. And here comes Dylan Moss in the 33D to the inside. Door to door through turns 3 and 4. Sprouse going to lead lap number 1. Dumas in second. Then it's Brown and Moss, your top 4. One spot out of a transfer right now is Melissa Bailey in the 13 machine. She had a good run going in her heat race right up until about the last lap. Lost it going into turn number 1 and unfortunately fell out of a transfer position. Right now, one spot out right behind Dylan Moss. Once again, Melissa Bailey in the 13 machine sitting in 5th, one spot out of a transfer. Dylan Moss now with his best look to the inside of Danny Brown coming into turn number 3. Not going to happen this time by, I don't know. Here comes Moss on the bottom. They're door to door out of turn number 4. It's going to be Brown at the line. That beautiful 21B machine. Danny Brown hanging on to it side by side through turns 1 and 2 that time around again. Dylan Moss to the inside one more time into turn 3. Still side by side for that third spot. Your leader is still Dustin Sprouse out front. Terry Dumas in the second position. Danny Brown now hanging on to that third spot. And the 33D of Dylan Moss rounding out the top 4. It's a good battle now for the 5th spot. Clint Howard getting around Melissa Bailey. Howard to the 5th position. Here comes Bailey back around the outside as Howard gets snug through the middle of 3 and 4. Still outside of a transfer position, but that's the best battle on the racetrack right now. Bailey trying to close the gap, catch back up to the 33D of Dylan Moss. We're coming to halfway there, folks. 6 down and 6 to go for Dustin Sprouse. Sprouse still the leader as we go back into turn number 1. Terry Dumas in second spot. Then it's Danny Brown and Dylan Moss, your top 4. Melissa Bailey one spot out, still on the outside looking in, trying to run down the 33D as we come into turn number 3. Seven down and 5 to go. Dustin Sprouse rolls back into turn number 3. Terry Dumas in the second position. Been that way since the drop of the green flag. The action now. The battle is heating up for the 4th and final transfer position. Someone burning brakes. I can smell it here in the press box. One of the top cars. Still, Sprouse out front. Oh, it's Danny Brown got the brakes going on. The rear brakes real hot. We've got a yellow flag on the race. Lights are out. We're back underway. And Dustin Sprouse leads the field back into turn number 1. Here comes Dumas on the bottom of the racetrack. Had a good run that time. Oh, Melissa Bailey once again loops it in turn number 1. She had a transfer spot in the bag. Gonna need a yellow for sure for her to catch up. She's got a long way to go. A tough break for the young lady in the 13 machine. That's going to give the 4th and final transfer spot to either Clint Howard or Wes Downey. Those two are battling it out right now for the 4th and final transfer spot. Down the backstretch into turn 3. Howard on the bottom, Downey up top. Your leader is still Dustin Sprouse in the 28. 2 laps to go for your leader. Terry Dumas in second. Danny Brown is third. And Clint Howard that time solidly in the 4th and final transfer spot past the start-finish line. White flag going to be out this time by Clint Howard and Wes Downey side by side with the white flag in the air. Howard may be giving him a little bit of a door bang coming into turn 3. So, and Howard is around again at the bottom of turn 2. And that is going to do it for Clint Howard. The checkered flag is going to come out. Your winner going to be Dustin Sprouse. Then Terry Dumas is second. Danny Brown is third. And the 4th is going to be the 47D of Wes Downey. A main tonight. Green flag is out and we are underway. Steve Cherry leads this one into turn number 1. James Bailey in second. We're 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Weston Abbey up top, putting on the show alongside Frank Lackey and Willie Tryon. Leading lap number 1, it'll be Steve Cherry. James Bailey in second. Jacob Wilburn in third. And Weston Abbey 4th. Frank Lackey right now 1 spot out looking in the 5th position, trying to get around Weston Abbey as we come into turn number 3. Abbey to the bottom of the racetrack trying to get under Jacob Wilburn right now. Those guys are racing for position, also racing for starting position in the main event. Steve Cherry out front, under fire right now from James Bailey as we head down the back chute into turn number 3. A little bit of a shot in the shorts, as my buddy Zach Clark would say. Steve Cherry still your leader. Bailey, Wilburn, and Abbey round out the top 4. Willie Tryon now 1 spot outside looking in as Frank Lackey's had a rough last couple of laps and dropped back about 3 spots. Cherry still out front, coming out of turn number 4. Second spot still James Bailey. No change behind them in the top 4 either. You got Jacob Wilburn in the 3rd spot. Weston Abbey still 4th. Willie Tryon, though, has closed that gap. He is right there about a car length out, sitting in the 5th position. Tryon now up top shelf in turn number 3. Going to tuck back down to the bottom as Abbey slides up the racetrack. Tryon with a good run at it. Not going to be enough as we cross the halfway mark. 6 down and 6 to go. Cherry going to be coming up on some lap traffic here in just a moment. That is the 5L of Chris Logan. Going to be the first to go a lap down. Cherry closing quickly in turn number 2. Logan hanging on there. Remember, your top 4 transfers now are Cherry, Bailey, Wilburn, and now it looks like Willie Tryon has gotten around Weston Abbey. Abbey having to play defense, battling back on the outside, hanging on to the spot that time at the line. Your leader's gotten around Logan, put him a lap down. Now, 2nd spot, James Bailey has to get around as well. Cherry with a bit of a cushion. The battle, though, for 4th spot, that 4th and final transfer position, give it to Willie Tryon on the 04X. Weston Abbey back to 5th. Should be coming to, I believe, 2 to go. This time out of turn number 4 for your leader, Steve Cherry. Yes, indeed. 2 laps left for the 11 machine. The 96 in second spot. Jacob Wilburn still third. Willie Tryon with a good run, getting around Weston Abbey. Abbey back to fifth. Remember, that is not a transfer position. We've got one around in turn 4. The yellow is going to come out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we've got the lineup correct, and the green flag's back out. Cherry catching him sleeping on the restart. Bailey choosing the outside. He's going to hang on to that second spot. Wilburn is up to third. Look who's back into fourth. Weston Abbey gets around. Willie Tryon battling back. Trying again on the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 2. Abbey now hanging on to that fourth spot as we come into turn number 3. Coming to 2 to go once again. There's Steve Cherry out front. Then it's Bailey and Wilburn second and third. Now Tryon has gotten back around Weston Abbey for the fourth and final transfer spot. And here comes Frank Lackey to get around Weston on the outside. Lackey going to loop it in turn number 3 and a hard smack from the 04 machine. Caution going to have to come out once again. James Honish driving the 777 special inside the front row. Honish going to lead with the green. And Honish back underway. And look at Frazier. Or excuse me, that's Shane Pretty right underneath James Honish as we come into turn number 1. Jackpot back to the second spot. Here comes Tyler Bragg, though. Battling on the bottom side of the racetrack. Honish going to hang on to that second spot. Bragg is in third. Clickenbeard up to fourth. Fifth spot belongs to the 11R of Trevor Rainey. Oh, we've got 2 cars around in turn number 2. Looks like the 17S of James Skinner. We're going to get it cleared up. Skinner going to get it whooped around, pointed back in the right direction. Everybody going to stay green. Looks like we're going to lose the 65 of Braden Wyatt. Shane Pretty still your leader. James Honish in the second spot. Third spot is still Quick Nick Clickenbeard up top in turns 1 and 2. Clickenbeard grabs a hold of some of that cushion, whips the car around. He's going to lose the third spot to Tyler Bragg. Nick once again on the throttle in the turn number 3, trying to fight back and retake the third position. He'll do it off the top side of turn number 4. Clickenbeard got something working. Top shelf goes back down to the bottom in 1 and 2. Honish makes a bobble off the middle of turns 1 and 2. Here comes Clickenbeard now. Top side in turns 3 and 4. Quick Nick is on his way to the front. He's going to pick off Honish and take over the second spot. Clickenbeard back down to the bottom of the racetrack this time in turns 1 and 2. Looks like Nick has got it figured out as Justin Long parks it in the infield. The Vato chassis number 42 is going to call it early. Clickenbeard once again top shelf out of turn number 4, trying to run down your leader Shane Pretty in the 766. Pretty down to the bottom of turns 1 and 2. Clickenbeard closes within a car length and a half. Pretty gaps it back down to about 2 car lengths. Down the back chute into turn 3. Clickenbeard now with a good look to the outside of turns 3 and 4. Not good enough. We're down to within a car length. As Clickenbeard now with his best look yet off the bottom of turn 2. Watch him go up top. Clickenbeard's got it figured out on the top side of the racetrack. Can run either side. Nick has found the fast way around 281 Speedway and takes the lead out of turn number 4. With a bonsai move off the top side of the racetrack, has to get down to the bottom in turns 1 and 2 quickly to protect that inside line. Now we're going to let her eat on the other end of the racetrack. Top shelf through 3 and 4 once again. Clickenbeard seems to be gone as we've got 5 to go. 10 laps complete, 5 laps left for Nick Clickenbeard. Clickenbeard already gapped Shane Pretty by almost a straightaway coming into turn number 3. Going to be running down the 17A of Aaron Alley. Alley in danger of going a lap down. Clickenbeard once again to the bottom of the racetrack. Has got the line figured out around 281 Speedway. Motors down the back chute once again into turn 3. Alley stays on the high side though. Clickenbeard may have his hands full. Should have about 3 laps to go. Nick to the bottom of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2, trying to get around Aaron Alley. He'll do so out of turn 2. Still Shane Pretty in second spot. Tyler Bragg is third. James Honish, jackpot James Honish in fourth. And rounding out the top 5, it is the 11R of Trevor Rainey. 2 to go for your leader. 2 laps to go for quick Nick Clickenbeard. Make it about a lap and a half as we come out of turn number 2. Down the backstretch into turn 3. Clickenbeard, high, wide, and handsome through 3 and 4. The car rotates nicely as we take the white flag. 1 more lap to go for the 66. Quick Nick out of turn 2, down the back chute for the final time. Into turn number 3. Out of turn 4, the checkered flag waves. Nick Clickenbeard with the win in the Sport Mod main event. Tyler Moorehead, Buck Owens, Dennis Bissonette, and Lee Riley. The rest of the field, the green flag is out. We are underway. And Spillman leads the field into turn number 1, slides all the way to the top side of the racetrack. He's battling 3 wide with the Abbey brothers. Dean on the bottom, Weston in the middle. Zach Spillman going to lead the field into turn number 3. Top shelf once again. Oh, Spillman hard into the brakes to avoid the car going right into the wall. That's going to lose about 5-6 spots, and Spillman into the wall. Oh! Oh, no!
Caution, caution, caution.
On the inside of row number 3 alongside the 21 of Bryce Pritchett. Green flag is out. We're back underway. And Weston Abbey going to lead the field into turn number 1. Here comes Husky on the bottom, though. Jamie Husky not going to go away without a fight. He'll lead the field out of turn number 2. We're 3 wide briefly down the back chute. Into turn 3, we're going to be 2 by 2 by nearly 3. Look at Bryce Pritchett trying to make it 3 wide. Weston Abbey leads lap number 1. Jamie Husky still trying to battle back on the bottom of the racetrack. They're nearly door-to-door out of turn 2. It's Abbey up front. Husky in the middle of an Abbey sandwich right now. Weston out front. Husky in the middle. And Dean in third spot. Brandon Taylor gets around Bryce Pritchett for 4th. Pritchett back to 5th. Dean Abbey working the bottom of the racetrack out of turns 1 and 2. The Sniper Speed chassis, the number 26 machine. Trying to work his way forward and get around the 26J of Jamie Husky. We're side by side for 4th off of turn number 4. Brandon Taylor back to the bottom of the track in turns 1 and 2. Almost 3 wide down the backstretch. We'll go ahead and call it. 3 lanes of racing into turn number 3. Bryce Pritchett back down to the bottom of the track, shuts the door on Brandon Taylor and is side by side with Dean Abbey. Looks like Dean Abbey may be scraping the wall a little bit too. Pritchett secures the position in turn number 2. Abbey back to 3rd, Brandon Taylor 5th. Abbey back to 4th and Brandon Taylor 5th. Weston Abbey, meanwhile, walking away with it. Your winner last weekend here at 281 Speedway. Looking to make it 2 in a row. got the field by a straightaway right now coming into turn 3. Jamie Husky in second. The battle, though, for third spot. Bryce Pritchett and Dean Abbey going at it hard for the third spot. Rounding out that podium tonight is going to be interesting. Weston Abbey still out front. Down the backstretch is still a straightaway advantage over Jamie Husky. We're going to be coming to halfway there. Should be 7 down and 8 to go this time around. There's cross flags from Jason Batt. Still Weston Abbey out front. Jamie Husky second. Bryce Pritchett third. Dean Abbey fourth. Brandon Taylor rounds out the top 5. Side by side now for 7th on the racetrack. It's Blake Clark in the 88 and the 22T of Justin Waringa. Oh, the 16 machine. The 16L of Lee Riley pulling it into the infield. Calling it early here in the iStock main event. Side by side now for second spot out of turn number 4. Top side is Jamie Husky. On the inside, it was Bryce Pritchett. Husky with the spot at the stripe that time. Pritchett back to the bottom of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. Still side by side down the backstretch into turn 3. Pritchett with the preferred line on the inside. Bryce Pritchett been making moves here in the main event. Got a long way to go now as he takes over the second spot from Jamie Husky. Bryce Pritchett with a long way to go to catch your leader. I dare say, though, Bryce Pritchett with the fastest car on the racetrack at this time looks to be catching your leader, but I think it's too little too late as Abbey's still cruising around with a straightaway advantage. Should be coming to 2 to go at the line this time. There you have it, folks. 2 laps to go for your leader, Weston Abbey. Coming out of turn 4, Abbey going to be looking squarely at the white flag. 1 more lap to go around 281 Speedway. 1 more lap for Weston Abbey. Out of turn 2 for the final time down the backstretch. It's still a straightaway advantage over Bryce Pritchett. I'd say barring catastrophe, this one's going to belong to the driver from Comanche, Texas. Taking the checkered flag, making it 2 in a row, Weston Abbey. Second spot is Bryce Pritchett. Third is Jamie Husky. Then it's Dean Abbey and Brandon Taylor rounding out the top 5. Alongside Dustin Woods, Jerry Hammock, Jeff Emerson, Russ Fletcher, Dennis Smith, Blake Backus, Jeff Long, Kenny Venable, Marshall McKelvey, Denny Merrill, and Ronnie Henderson. We're going green. Reagan Reed going to lead the field into turn number 1. Gary Kelly going to sneak by her on the inside. Reed slides all the way to the top of the racetrack, and there ain't nothing there. The young lady slips back 1 spot. Here comes Josh Hanna in third. Matt Etzel-Miller sitting in the 4th position right now, and then it's anybody's guess for a 5th spot as it's Brittany Bryant, Brian DeBrick, and Mark Kliss Jr. Gary Kelly leads lap number 1, but here comes Reagan Reed with a great run off of turn number 2. Going to run him down the back chute. Those two got a good lead on the 3rd spot of Brittany Bryant. Cars backing up behind Brian as we're 2 and 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. Here comes Brian DeBrick around the outside, trying to find his way around as everybody hustling to the bottom of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. Mark Kliss Jr. kind of getting NASCAR'd on the outside. He's going to make it work, trying to pick up a spot around Josh Hanna. That's for 6th on the racetrack. Jerry Hammock started in the 9th position and has worked his way up to 6th right now, behind Mark Kliss Jr. Hammock in the red number 4 machine, always one to watch in the Texas Sprint Series competition. 2 in battle right now with Matt Etzel-Miller. Gary Kelly is still your leader. Reagan Reed in 2nd spot. It's Brittany Bryant, Brian DeBrick, and now Matt Etzel-Miller rounding out the top 5. And the zero machine of Danny Merrill, unfortunately, parking it in the infield. His night is done early. Gary Kelly still out front in the 12X machine. Reagan Reed in second spot, closing the gap to about 3 car lengths as we come into turn number 3. Brittany Bryant still in the 3rd position. Bobbles a little bit that time through turns 1 and 2. Here comes Brian DeBrick in the 4th spot. Good jump back to Matt Etzelmiller in the 5th position. That rounds out your top 5. Jerry Hammock in 6th, and it's Josh Hanna, Dustin Woods, Blake Backus, and Kenny Venable rounding out the top 10. Reagan Reed bobbling that time through turns 3 and 4. Going to lose 2 spots. Here comes Brian DeBrick underneath Brittany Bryant. Bryant up to 2nd. DeBrick is up to 3rd. Reed slips back to 4th. Gary Kelly still out front in the 12X machine. Brittany Bryant now having trouble down the front stretch as DeBrick gets around for the 2nd spot. Brian DeBrick to the runner-up spot. Going to be coming across flags this time by 10 down and 10 to go for Gary. Oh, we've got one. Wow. Matt Etzelmiller going for a wild ride in turn number 3. We got a good battle going on for the top spot. Brian DeBrick on the bottom of the racetrack. He'll take the lead out of turn number 4. Gary Kelly back to 2nd. Brittany Bryant up to 3rd. Reagan Reed now duking it out with Jerry Hammock for the 4th spot. Hammock back to 5th. Your leader is still Brian DeBrick out of turn number 4. 2nd spot is Gary Kelly sliding way up the racetrack. DeBrick has already gapped it out to about a straightaway. We got one around in turn number 2. We got a car around at the top of turn 2. It is the 24. With 10 down and 10 to go. The 10 machine of Brian DeBrick going to lead him to the green this time out of 4. Green's back out. We're back underway. And everybody fighting to get to the bottom of the racetrack in 1 and 2. Gary Kelly slides all the way to the top. He's going to run down into turn number 3, trying to get back away from Brittany Bryant and close the gap on Brian DeBrick. Jerry Hammock picking up 2 spots that time through turns 3 and 4. Getting around both Brittany Bryant and Reagan Reed. Emerson gets around Reed as well. Here comes Josh Hanna now off the bottom of the racetrack, picking up that 5th spot. Jeff Emerson battling back around the top side of the racetrack out of turn number 4. He'll retake the 5th position off the exit. Everybody fighting to get back down to the bottom of turns 1 and 2. The battle on the racetrack right now is the one for the 4th spot. Give it to Brittany Bryant at the moment. Jeff Emerson trying to close the gap and take the position. He goes around the top side of turn number 3. He'll hang on to the spot, retake the 4th position out of turn 4. Bryant trying to sling the car back down into turn number 1. Nearly kills the 99B machine, but she gets it back underway. We stay clean and green. It's still Brian DeBrick out front, now closing on the back markers. Jerry Hammock, Gary Kelly, Jeff Emerson, and Brittany Bryant round out the top 5. We should be coming to 2 to go. Next time out of turn 4. 2 to go for Brian DeBrick. There we go right there. 2 more times around. 281 Speedway. DeBrick putting a lap on Madman Marshall McKelvey, also putting a lap on Mark Kliss Jr. Going to be coming into turn number 3. This time, DeBrick will be looking squarely at the white flag. 1 more lap to go for Brian DeBrick, the D-Up Racing number 10 machine. Down the back chute for the final time into turn number 3. DeBrick on cruise control. A two-car cushion between him and second place Jerry Hammock. The checkered flag waves. Brian DeBrick will take the win. Second will be the Ford Machine of Jerry Hammock. Then it's Gary Kelly, Jeff Emerson, and it looks to be Brittany Bryant going to round out the top 5. Six of Jacob Wilburn, and your 10th and final row is Wes Downey in the 47D and Willie Tryon in the 04X. The green light is out and we're underway. And a good jump off the bottom of the racetrack for Shane Pretty. Shane going to lead the field into turn number 1. There's a shot in the shorts. Oh, good save by Pretty. Anthony Simsick giving him a little love tap there. Look at Lance Hansen on the bottom of the racetrack. The Red Oak Texan working it through 3 and 4 where we're 3 wide with Hansen, Bissonette, and the 26 of Grant Wallum. Lap number 1 in the books. Give it to Shane Pretty. Second spot is Anthony Simsick. He's side by side with Grant Wallum out of turn number 2. We're 2 deep again with Lance Hansen and Dennis Bissonette 2 by 2 as we come into turn number 3. Wallum on the bottom going to take over the second spot. Now Simsick going to bang it out with him. Oh, there's a shot. Wow. A lot of beating and banging going on in the factory stock main event. Dennis Bissonette coming up with a short end of that stick. Looks like some serious front end damage on the 818 Bissonette. Slow around the top side. I think Dennis going to try to limp it around and get it off the racetrack. Staying out of the groove, up around the top side. The field coming around on the bottom of turn number 1 is still Pretty out front. Wallum is now second. Hansen up to third. We're side by side for fourth with Walter Hamilton and Anthony Simsick into turn number 3. Hamilton on the bottom of the 1W, going to hang on to the spot for now, but Simsick battling around the outside. Going to try to take it off of turn 4. Not going to be enough. Hamilton that time in the 4th spot. Still some beating and banging going on in the top 5. It's Lance Hansen and now Anthony Simsick battling for third spot on the racetrack. Hansen towards the bottom of turns 1 and 2. Running the low line with some good dig off the exit of turn 2. Hamilton as well. Got a good run off the bottom of turn number 2. Anthony Simsick back to 4th. We're 3 wide through turn number 4. Almost 4 wide. Ruben Broussard making it real interesting, as is Jeffrey Abbey. Hansen gets real snug through the transition of turns 1 and 2. Walter Hamilton right there, nose to tail. This is some good racing, ladies and gentlemen. The factory stocks always putting on a good show as the 151K of Tommy Williams Jr. makes a hard right turn off the speedway out of turn number 3. Your new leader is Grant Wallum. Problems for the 77 of Shane Pretty. Wallum now out front as we're 4 wide coming through turns 3 and 4. Lance Hansen on the bottom is in second spot. Here comes Jeffrey Abbey around the outside. I knew that. You knew that wasn't going to work for long. And the green flag is back out. Wallum leads them to it. We're underway once again. 7 down, 13 to go. Lance Hansen trying to slide up and shut the door on Jeffrey Abbey as we come out of turn number 4. The Red Oak Texan on the bottom of the racetrack out of turn number 2. Going to do it once again. Slides all the way to the top side of the track. Tries to close the door on the 77J of Jeffrey Abbey. Wallum going to lead lap number 8. Abbey using the momentum around the outside of the racetrack, but Hansen with the second spot at the stripe. It's Wallum, Hansen, Abbey, Hamilton. Oh, we got a big pile up over in turn number 2. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Grant Wallum going to lead them into turn number 1. Jeffrey Abbey with a good head of steam coming out of turn 4 that time, using the top side of 1 and 2 once again. But here, look at Lance Hansen on the bottom. The 5/8 machine really digs off the bottom of turn 2. We're almost 3 wide. Hansen thinks better of it, has to get on the brakes, and that's going to give away the second spot to Abbey. Here comes Tom Earl. Earl has found something here in the last few laps, making his way up towards the front. He and Walter Hamilton door banging through turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch into turn 3. Abby once again up top. Grant Wallem drives down to the bottom of the racetrack and trying to close the door off the exit. He'll do it. Abby, though, with a good head of steam heading into turn number 1. Seems to be such a longer way around as Walter Hamilton now gets around Lance Hansen for 3rd spot. Hansen back to 4th. Here comes Tom Earl on the inside as well in the 47 car. We got guys bumping and banging and slipping and sliding about mid-pack as Jason Gamez gets around the 11 of Steve Cherry on the racetrack, and that's for about 7th on the field. Abby once again to the top of turns number 3 and 4, trying to get around Grant Wallem. Abby with one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, trying to use the top side to make it work. I just don't know that it's going to happen, as now Heisenberg, Walter Hamilton is working his way into the mix as the top 3. Look at Abby now. We switch lines, and Abby gets underneath Grant Wallem out of turn number 4. You've got a new race leader, Jeffrey Abby in the 77J. Abby gets around Grant Wallem, but here comes Walter Hamilton. Abby now going to be on the outside once again. Hamilton to the bottom of the racetrack. Can Hamilton use the bottom to take away the lead from Jeffrey Abby? Yes, 3 laps, 3 leaders. Give it to Walter Hamilton. Hamilton now to the top spot out of turn number 2. Abby going to try to look to the inside. We've got a yellow. We've got a yellow on the racetrack. It's the 11 of Steve Cherry. Lights are out, ladies and gentlemen. Jeffrey Abby going to lead him to the green flag this time out of turn 4, 12 down and 8 to go. Here in your factory stock main event, the green flag is out and we are underway. Abby with a great jump off the turn 4 leads the field into turn number 1. Grant Wallem in 2nd spot. Here comes Heisenberg having to battle back after taking the lead, only to have to give it back on a green flag issue. Abby leads lap number 13. It's Wallem in 2nd. Hamilton and Tom Earl got a good run going for 3rd. Look at Ruben Broussard also getting up there in the 5th spot. 3-car battle for 3rd as we come into turn number 3. Heisenberg having to work a lot harder this go around to get around Tom Earl. Still can't get it down to the bottom. Walter Hamilton would really like to get to the bottom of the racetrack, I'm sure. The car's fast, but you just don't have the dig off the top side that you do off the ball. Oh, there's a little bit of contact as Hamilton and Earl get together. Hamilton going to lose a spot to Ruben Broussard and to Tom Earl. So Hamilton back to 5th. Ruben Broussard is now up to 4th spot. Tom Earl is 3rd. Grant Wallem 2nd. And Jeffrey Abby still leading. Two laps to go for Jeffrey Abby. Grant Wallem in 2nd spot. 3rd spot is still Tom Earl, and it's Ruben Broussard and Walter Hamilton. 3, 4, and 5 on the racetrack. White flag in the air for Jeffrey Abby. Grant Wallem in 2nd spot. Tom Earl is still 3rd. Ruben Broussard and Walter Hamilton still running out the top 5 as we got about a half a lap left to go. Jeffrey Abby with one more set of corners. Wallem knows it's not going to be enough. Abby staring squarely at the checkered flag on his way out of turn 4. He'll take the win in the factory stock main event. Grant Wallem is 2nd. Tom Earl is 3rd. Green flag coming out. We're underway with modified main event. Chris Bragg going to lead the field down into turn number 1. Danny Rogers tucking into the second position. Look at Colin Deming on the bottom of the racetrack, side by side for second. The Hobbs, New Mexico driver in the 3C machine. We're nearly 3 wide. Oh, and Chad Melton getting together with Dean Deming. Green flag is out. We're back underway once again. Chris Bragg leads the field down into turn number 1. We're 3 wide with Jeffrey Abbey, Danny Rogers, and Colin Deming putting on the show through turns 1 and 2. Chris Bragg going to lead the field into turn 3. Look at Abbey on the outside, right up against the wall, down the front stretch into turn number 1. Bragg leads lap number 1. Here comes Abbey around the outside, trying to close the gap, take over the top spot. Chris Bragg down to the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 3. Abbey once again top shelf, trying to use the momentum around the outside. Bragg's got to know he's there this time around. Abbey still on the top side, a little bit shorter, a little bit worse of a run that time, excuse me, as Abbey goes again once again top shelf into turn number 3. Gets around the outside that time. Jeffrey Abbey to the top spot. Chris Bragg back to second. Colin Deming is still third. Hardy Henderson's worked his way up to 4th. Danny Rogers 5th. And it's Chad Melton, Eric Miles, and Dean Deming rounding out the field. Jeffrey Abbey out front by about a straightaway over Chris Bragg in second spot. Colin Deming is third. Hardy Henderson still 4th. Henderson takes a look to the inside of Deming in turn number 3. Side by side, nearly off the exit of 4. Give the nod to Deming on the exit. Down to the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 1. That's the best battle on the track right now, the one for third. Going to be halfway home this time by, once again, in turn number 3, Hardy Henderson on the bottom. Side by side off the exit with Deming. Still side by side through turns 1 and 2. Good, clean racing from those two guys. Hardy Henderson, once again, your 2017 281 Speedway Modified Track Champion. Proving that age is just a number. Deming finally gets around on the outside and retakes the third position. Henderson not giving up without a fight, though. Still on the bottom of the racetrack. That is where all the action is. One more lap side by side. Henderson trying to make it work on the bottom. Now sliding a lane up off. Sliding right to the middle of the racetrack. We've got another battle right behind them. That's the one for 5th. With Chad Melton in the 71 machine and Danny Rogers in the 02. Give the nod to Melton off of turn number 4. Yeah, Melton will make the move. The Mineral Wells, Texas driver. Danny Rogers trying to battle back on the outside of the racetrack. Dean Deming right behind him now, making it 3 cars going for 5th spot. Deming underneath Rogers off the exit at turn number 4. Not going to be enough. It's still Melton in 4th. Rogers is 5th, and Dean Deming 6th as Jeffrey Abbey comes at 2 to go. Down the back stretch. In the turn number 3, going to be the white flag out this time by White flag in the air for Jeffrey Abbey. One more lap to go. Into turn 3 for the final time. Out of 4 was the leader. Now the winner. The checkered flag will wave over the 37 of Jeffrey Abbey. 2 in a row. Literally 2 consecutive races in a row. Green is out. We're underway with Ricky Braddock right around the outside, leading the field into turn number 1. Wade White going to get around Hogan for second spot. Hogan back to third. Mike Kelly going to round him out in fourth. Halfway there, folks. 7 down, 8 to go. Wade White trying to get a look to the outside of the 56 of Ricky Braddock. Braddock hanging on to the top spot so far. White once again looking to the outside of the 56. Braddock slides up the racetrack. White is right there underneath as we come out of turn number 2. Braddock's car may be going away a little bit. The 56 machine looks a tad bit loose. Really has to get out of the throttle that time through the corners. White once again with a look to the outside as we come to 2 to go. Now trying to cross over and look to the inside as we come into turn number 1. Ricky Braddock making the, oh, and there's a little bit of a nudge, and Braddock goes around. No caution coming out. Wade White going to take the white flag this time around. Checkered flag going to be in the air. Oh, no, well, yeah, checkered flag going to be in the air that time around. Wade White going to take the win. Ricky Braddock going to be second. Mike Kelly. Green flag waves, and we're underway. Clifton Wisnat right off the bat, jumping out to the early lead down the backstretch into turn number 3. Harold Clifton right there in the 47C. That was close. Out of turn 4, Wisnat going to lead lap number 1. Clifton Wisnat still out front. Harold Clifton in second spot. Third spot looks to be Julia Childs in the 02. Good run for Julia. Fourth spot is the 18 of Jeff Toller. Jeff working his way up from the 7th starting position. Brian Bajan and Pamela Wisnat side by side for 5th on the racetrack. Give the spot to Bajan out of 4. Bill Hall making an early exit off the Speedway in turn number 3. The 4 machine back to the pit area. Still a good 3-car battle for the top spot with Clifton Wisnat out in front. Harold Clifton in second spot. Julia Childs in third. Childs to the outside of the turn number 3 in the 02 machine. Looking to the outside of Harold Clifton as we come to cross flags. Now Harold Clifton on the inside of turn number 1. Side by side with Wisnat on the exit. Harold Clifton battling hard in turn number 3, nose to nose with Clifton Wisnat. Looks like Harold Clifton actually going to take the lead off the bottom of 4. Yeah, Harold Clifton, your new leader, a pair of Cobalts out front, doing battle with a Mitsubishi Eclipse. Give the nod to Chevy coming into turn number 3. Might have been a little bit of contact there between Wisnat and Childs. Harold Clifton now starting to stretch the lead out just a little bit, about 2.5 car lengths coming into turn number 3. Clifton Wisnat maybe burning the tires off a little bit, struggling here in the closing laps. Gets back around Childs for the second spot, though. Pamela Wisnat slow down the back chute. Looks like she might not make it off the racetrack. She's trying to limp it back to the exit. No, don't know if it's going to happen. We're still green right now with Harold Clifton out front. Wisnat in second. Julia Childs is third. We've got a green-yellow on the racetrack. Looks like we're going to get the one. Yep, going to have to get a yellow. Going to have to bring out a yellow.
Caution on the track.
Green flag's back out. We're back underway. 11 complete. 4 to go. Harold Clifton catching him sleeping, coming in turn number 3. Backs the Cobalt in there like it's a sprint car. Hangs on to the top spot. Julia Childs getting around Clifton Wisnat for second. Oh, and Wisnat getting squirrely on the top side of turn number 3. Still Clifton out front. Harold Clifton should be 12 complete, 3 to go. Look at Julia Childs on the inside. A little bit of a love tap there from Jeff Toller in the 18. And Wisnat again trying to fight his way around the outside as we come to 2 to go. Nearly dead even at the start-finish line. Wisnat on the outside, Clifton on the inside. Harold Clifton slides up the racetrack and shuts the door. I don't know how there wasn't contact. White flag is in the air. One more lap around 281 Speedway. Clifton Wisnat maybe edging out Harold Clifton at the line, but Clifton with your lead coming out of turn number 2. Final time down the back chute into 3. Who's it going to be this time around? Double checker flag is going to be on the inside of the racetrack. And Harold Clifton with the win. Clifton Wisnat in second spot. And Julia Childs going to round out the top 3.